Hey guys, welcome to Worth the Spin. I am your fill-in host, Jack. I'm back. Thanks for joining me back here again, and hopefully you'll find this as another entertaining video. Alrighty, today we're going to talk about wings, Venus and Mars. The Half Speed Master. So this came out in the past week or so. I've been trying to get this album, and because I like the Half Speed Master series, and it was a bit of a pain. I like to try to buy from local people, from our local brick and mortar stores, try to help support them. I'm not a fan of the online thing. Most of the time, online purchases I'm unhappy with because there's always something wrong with it, or it's a pain to get. Anyway, so the local place I prefer to get it from got 2 copies in and either sold them or didn't get them in, or got them in and can't find them, or whatever. So after 3 days of waiting on that and him trying to find it, I just moved on to Amazon, I'm afraid. It was an ordeal with Amazon. Your order's in. It's a low inventory item. We'll be there the next day. Next day came, your item's been delayed. Next day, your item's been delayed. And then I got your items lost. So Amazon couldn't get one record to me. I think it's because they didn't want to come all the way. I'm a little bit out. I don't think they wanted to come all the way to my house to deliver one album. I've noticed from Amazon before when I've ordered from them, if there's a truck not coming in down my street, my item gets delayed to the next day, and then I'll see a truck coming and I stop the guy down the road who they deliver a lot of packages to. And if it's just like, I think, this is my theory, if it's just me ordering, they had to come here just for one item. They don't usually do it. I've just kind of noticed that pattern, and it's sad that I have any kind of time in my life to notice Amazon's goofy delivery patterns, but I've noticed that, and I think that was the case with this. They didn't want to come all the way from across state line to bring, which there were houses there, I don't understand, but to bring it to me. I think that's what happened. But anyway, they gave me the your item's lost. We'll have to refund you. And then I got the notice, we'll refund you when we find the lost item, which ticked me off because you lost it. Why am I waiting for my money if you admit you lost it? And then I got the, we'll refund you, but if you get the item, you need to return it to us. I'm like, what is that all about? Anyway, long story short, I got my money back from them. Never seen a copy of the album from them. I don't like ordering from Amazon for many reasons. That is yet one of them. So, went to another local shop, one I don't like to give money to, though I have to say the atmosphere there has been different than my first couple of visits. I think the problem that was at this local shop has gone away, either voluntarily or involuntarily. But it's a different atmosphere. The people there are different. It's a past couple of times I've been in there, it's been a better browsing experience than before. So I just bought it from them. Unlike a lot of YouTube guys, I don't get free records from Sean and all them. I have to pay for my albums, and so I'm looking to get it as reasonable as possible. So I got this from that record shop. It was $37, so that's pretty good. I don't think you're going to find it for less than that, honestly, unless somebody picks it up, listens to it, and puts it on eBay. I know there are people who will buy an album and they'll put it in their computers and that, and then they resell it to make back as much as they can because they want it digitally. They don't really want to have the physical copy. So let's move on from all that. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about it. Half Speed Master. Is this worth the spin? It's worth the spin. It's Wings. It's their 4th solo album. It's a great album. It's most people's favorite Wings album. It's not mine. Mine is Red Rose Speedway, but this is probably my second favorite Wings album, I guess. It's really good. I love this album. Sound quality is great on the Half Speed Master on this versus the original. Mainly the drums and bass stand out more on here than the original. When they do the half-speed mastering, so my understanding of half-speed mastering, this is very layman. So there's a process to it. But basically, we're taking the original master tape and we're slowing it down to half speed master of what they cut the original album with. And that opens it up a little bit and decompresses it sort of and gives you a better sound quality. So you can hear a better sound quality, not just the fact that this is brand new out of the wrapper, so you don't have the static and stuff like that. Whereas this one you do, because it's aged and it's been played a lot. So of the Half Speed Master series that they've done so far, I've enjoyed most of them. I think McCartney, Wildlife, and Red Rose Speedway has fared the best as far as half speed mastering. I think the differences are there. If you listen to them back to back, you'll hear the differences in them. Venus and Mars and Band on a Run, I don't think the differences are there. They're there. They're just kind of a slight. I don't think they're as evident. Like if you listen to the original Red Rose Speedway and put on the Half Speed Master, you'll hear a lot of things. They're more clear sound and stuff, and sound better, and things you go, oh, didn't know that was on there, than what you heard from the original. So this and Band on a Run, I think, have been the two weakest of the Half Speed Mastering so far. But still, glad to have it. Do admit that when I want to listen to one of these albums, I don't typically pull out a Half Speed Master. I will listen to the original just because that's me. And I prefer to listen to the originals over any reissues and remasters and, whatever else that they do. It is nice to listen to these things, though, especially when they do they'll do them to, like you'll get a DVD version, so they take advantage of Atmos and stuff like that to really enhance it, so it really opens it up and you hear a lot better, crisper sound. But in the end, I'm still a bigger fan of the originals. So let's take a look at the originals. So released it's the Fourth Wings album, released in 1975. First album to be released on Paul's, to be released on Capitol and not Apple, because we were in the final days of Apple Records. So it was released on Capitol. This made the process easier to get it on there and out than the falling apart, collapsing Apple. It was number one in the US and the UK. This Wings lineup on this one is Paul, Linda, Denny, Jimmy McCullough, and Geoff Burton, who quit 6 months into it because he had a lot of personal conflicts with the rest of Wings. So he quit, and Joe English stepped in to finish this album. And differences as far as drumming, I don't hear a lot of differences. I'm not that musically trained that I could tell you, this drummer played this song differently than this drummer did. Some I can. Some, obviously, guitars especially, you can tell the difference. Drums and stuff of that nature, I can't tell a lot of difference in one playing to another. If it's more kind of obvious, it's obvious. But if it's more of subtle, it's just kind of subtle, and I don't really catch it. But still, all together, these guys put together an excellent album. They recorded 2 extra songs during this session. It was Lunchbox Odd Sock and My Carnival. Both saw release further down the road. Lunchbox Odd Sock was on the back of Coming Up, and My Carnival, I forget offhand what that was the B-side of. So, but it's out there. So your first pressings. Let's look at general aesthetics of the album. We'll take that out. So this is your original 75 pressing. And you have the nice little hype sticker. You have the lyrics on the back. And you have the fancy smancy gatefold picture. Your album is, check it out and see it better, on your Capitol label. That's your album. Alright. With this release, you got a few items. Let's take a look. So, it came in this nice little, the record came in this nice little cardboard inner sleeve. Fancy smancy. You also got 2 posters. If I can get them. You got 2 posters with this release. Never been a poster fan or a pain. I mean, you hang them up and they fall down, or they, you know, whatever. You put them back in, take them down, put another one. They're getting ripped and wrinkled, and so I'm not a big fan of posters. So you have the fold and shoot, playing with the yellow and red balls on that one. Yeah, no point folding it all out. Obviously can't see it all. And then we have the Mardi Gras poster. Not the full poster, of course. You got 2 stickers with this release. You got the hype sticker, only larger. That's pretty cool. And then there was a longer strip, kind of like when you go to those photo booths at the mall and you put in $3-4 and you get the little 3-4 pictures that are together. It was kind of like that. And it was the Venus and Mars. It was Mars evolution around the sun and the earth and all that jazz. I don't have that in my original release. That's been lost. So your new release, same thing. You got the cover. Instead of the hype sticker, you have this OBI strip that he uses. It's pretty cool. They're popular with Japanese pressings. The back, you got the same thing. You've got the lyrics. And inside's not changed. You still have the inside. The record. And I love that they do these repull things, that they make them as exact as possible to the original releases. I think that's really cool. And there's your Half-Speed Master label. Not for a lot of differences. You also get with this the fancy smancy cardboard insert, which is still a cardboard insert. The original one, record came out the side, remastering comes out the top, has its extra little cut there in it. You get the 2 posters. Wings full shoot, playing with the balls. I did want to get this from the official website because it had the shirt, the Venus and Mars cover, and it said all balls in. That's pretty funny. That's pretty cool. I know that shirt was popular, but the shirt and the album, toss in the expensive postage, and look at that, it was like $95. I can't afford $95 for a record and a t-shirt. That's kind of silly. So I just tried to find a record locally so I could get it for $37, and you know, t-shirt's cool, but it's not that cool. And there's your Carnival or Mardi Gras poster. And then you get your proof that this is an official half-speed mastering. In case anybody ever quizzes you, you can whip that out of your wallet and say, hey. And you get the hype sticker again, which is cool. And then you get the sticker that I have missing from my original one, which is this one here. Sun and the moon and the stars and all that jazz. That's pretty cool to have. So there you go. Only big, major, not major, kind of smallish differences in these 2. Let me show you. Sorry, I didn't set the studio up very well this morning. I don't have my table we usually have. It's just a chair over by my keyboard. If you look, I'll put them together. The bottom one's obviously your original 75, and this is obviously your remaster. So if you look at the color of the balls and their position, that's the only thing that's really different I have found on here, other than some slight sound quality differences. Again, unfortunately, the half-speed mastering process is not all that great on this album versus just the original on the original. So still, it's worth buying, it's worth listening to, it's worth having in your collection if you're a Beatle fan. If you're not, doesn't really matter. If you want to go and pay, I think original, I think, you know, with or without the goodies, either way, I think runs you maybe $20-25. So it'd be less than buying the half speed, which is, like I said, about $37. So kind of up to you. Me, I have to own both. I don't have to, but I want to. So anyway, so it's good. I like it. It's enjoyable. I've listened to it 3 times. But again, like I said, nothing drastic, so nothing that makes me go, well, I don't listen to Venus and Mars. But I want to listen to the Half Speed Master. It's going to always be the original. But even on, to be honest with you, even on, like Red Rose Speedway, which I think the Half Speed Master was very good on that one, made the album sound a lot better. I'm still always going to pick the original. Not that I won't listen to these again, but I will, of course. But usually, if I go pick out an album, I'm going to listen to the original pressing versus the remaster, re-enhance, or half speed, or 8K, or that doesn't exist, but whatever. Is what I'm kind of getting the point of. So it's worth getting. I mean, it's Venus and Mars. Most people, it's their favorite Wings album. It's great. I love this album. So it's worth picking up either way. So if you've never heard Venus and Mars, I suggest you do. And if you have heard it, well, listen to it again. You can't listen to a good album too many times, in my opinion. Alrighty, so that's pretty much all I got on that, because there's not a whole lot going on. Definitely worth picking up. Other thing of note, Record Store Day is coming up next month. Not a fan of Record Store Day. It's a necessary evil, I guess. There's some cool pressings that come out. They do the, how it works. You can only get this album on Record Store Day. You can only get that on Record Store Day. And you either can get there and get that album you want to listen to, or you got to wait for these clowns who go with their buddies and buy them up and put them on eBay for ridiculous money. Last year when I went, I heard a bunch of people talking about how much certain albums are already selling for, and went in, and that's what they were looking for, was those sellable albums, so they could sell them for a lot of money. But that's with any hobby. So it's a shame, but like I said, if any hobby, it's the same thing. I collect Godzillas and stuff like that, and action figures, and it's the same thing. It's just horrible that a fun hobby is turned to crap because of people like that. But you do have that. So I've got a couple people I hope helping me this year, so I can get the records that I want this year for me to listen to, not to resell. The main one, there's a George Harrison on Things Must Pass, the Xenotroph, or whatever you call it, where you has the pictures on the album. It's kind of like a picture disc, and you have to have an app on your phone. You shine that, look through your phone on that app on a record while it's playing, and you see the images move. But it's the same images. It's only like a 10 second, 15 second thing. So you're spending the whole time, doing this. It's not really worth it. And being a 3 record set is probably going to be way expensive, so I'm sure I'll pass on that. There is also Beatle-wise. There's not much. There's the 1-to-1 EP coming out of the 1-to-1 concert, which when it was announced that this was coming out, it was not an announcement that the full concert's coming out in October around John's birthday, so that's going to be cool. Looking forward to that. But I still want to get the EP, because sometimes you get these EPs, you'll get a song on there or two that when they put the full version out is not on there. That happened with Mind Games. So I still want to get it. And there's like 5,000, I'm told, from what I heard, there's only 5,000 of the 1-to-1 concert EPs. And they didn't say if that was 5,000 US or 5,000 world. And a lot of them are, I think, 5,000 world or 7,000 world, 10,000 world, whatever. So those are the main ones. There's like Doctor Who, if you're familiar with that. Then I'm very interested in one of my favorite stories, The 10th Planet. And then there's a Taylor Swift 7-inch that I would like to get, because I'm a Taylor Swift fan. But that's about it. Record Store Day is really kind of a pain. But as long as they keep doing Beatle releases, I'll go to it. The big one from last year was the 3-inch Crosby Beatles turntable, to get just the one single with it. There was enough differences in it to make it cool enough to get, but still, they should have done just the record by itself for people who got the record player from a couple of years ago. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to the one-on-one. That's one of the best, if not the best, of what very few live concerts John did when he was alive. So I'm looking forward to that. You may know, in case some of you don't know and you're wondering about the one-on-one concerts. So John, the record came out around the time John died, live in New York City. That's part of the one-on-one concerts. It's only a few songs, 10 songs or whatever was on there from that concert. I'm told one of the main issues they're dealing with, and this is silly in this day and age, but they're dealing with the popular song of John's as the one word, and then everybody has an issue with. And in this day and age, I'm not getting into the politics side of it, but in this day and age, we should be past that by now. And that word's used by some people all the time, and they have no offense to it. It doesn't bother them. They use it to death, and that's okay. So I don't understand the politics of that word anymore. I would thought that would have been an antique word that would have gone away, and it was like you hear like, yeah, that's how they use that, 40, 50, 60 years ago. That's not something. It's not a relevant word in today's English. So if you're a John Lennon fan, and if you know the song that I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. If you listen to the lyrics of that song, you get the point of why he used that word. At the time, that word was more relevant, and its meaning really fits in with the rest of the song of what he's saying. It's John Lennon-isms. John said things a certain way and described things a certain way, and they didn't always fit in with other people's definitions and stuff. But if you listen to it, like I said, if you listen to it, that word fit in perfect with the rest of the lyrics of the song. You get the point of what he was saying. Could he use a different word? He probably could have, but that was the one that he chose because that was a more popular no word at the time. So that was just what he chose, and it was, and the song is what it is. If you take offense to it, I don't know why. It's just a song. It doesn't have the meaning you think it does. If you're getting offended by it and you're taking it as meaning something it definitely doesn't mean. So maybe I can figure out a way to talk about that by the time the full set comes out in October. And we could talk about it without offending anybody. I'm guessing it's probably not going to be on the EP. So anyway, so look forward to that. That's a record store day next month. If you want it, I hope you can find a copy of it. That's my main thing that I want is that, because I'm a huge John Lennon fan, and I really want that EP. So we'll see. Other than that, that's all I got for you. Thanks for joining me again for yet another late video. Again, I hope you got some enjoyment out of this, some kind of information maybe you didn't got before. Maybe you were like, what's this half-speed Paul McCartney thing that's out now? Do I need to buy this? Does it matter? Or whatever. And hopefully you're being able to make a decision. It's worth buying. It's worth the spin. It's a great album. If you're listening to the original pressing or this half-speed master, it's worth your money, and it's worth your time to get. And that's all I got for you. Some found my fancy graphics that I paid for. Could be here somewhere. Could not be. I have no idea where they're at. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a comment. I'm not the biggest Beatles expert in the world. I'm just a guy who's been listening to them for most of his life and read a lot of books. And so I know some stuff. That's about it. So I enjoy talking about the Beatles. And hopefully you enjoy listening to me talk about the Beatles. That's all I got for you. I'll see you next week or whenever I get the next video done. And some things are I've seen a video from a record store that I visited last year that I really enjoy and love that record store. And they did a thing on the White Albums. I think maybe the next one we're going to talk about the White Album and kind of the different versions on the White Album. What to look for, is it worth picking up the alternate version of it or not? So we'll talk about that next time. I think that'd be a good topic. So if you have any topics and something you want to hear about, throw it out there. I have a lot of records, not just Beatles, but other things. Originally, this channel was going to be about encompass all different bands, and it just kind of morphed into, you know what, I know the most about the Beatles. I enjoy the Beatles more than anything. The concept was to talk about different songs on albums, the behind the story things, and are they worth the picking up and listening to. And then I got in trouble for using snippets of music and band for a while there, and I just decided it's a hassle to try to do a video describing how songs sound and without being able to play a little bit so you can hear the differences and what it is that makes it what it is. And that's how it kind of just morphed into just talking about just the Beatles. So that's my story. And that's all I got for you. Again, thanks for sticking around. I hope you will subscribe and like this video. And if so, I'll see you next time. And if not, thanks for stopping by anyway. Be seeing you.